Hey, Lou Mosca, Chief Operating Officer of American Management Services, and we've been taking you through how to recession-proof your business. And what I'd like to talk to you about this week is part 3 in a 4-part series. And part 3 is about managing by the numbers. You like my little whiteboard, by the way? Part 3 is about managing by the numbers. And what I'd like to talk to you about when it comes to managing by the numbers is break it down into a couple areas. So the first is make sure you have your KPIs, right? What's a KPI? KPI is a key performance indicator. What that means is it's information in real time versus a financial report or financial statements that give you results after the fact. KPI is sort of like a flash report, if that's what you want to call it, or a dashboard, if that's what you choose to call it. Gives you real-time information. So what type of information should be on your KPIs? So financial information. Let's measure your liquidity at any point in time. So what do you have in cash, use of your line of credit, receivables, payables, and company payroll. That's stuff that sort of impacts your liquidity, right? So you should track that on your KPIs, your dashboard, your flash report. That's not going to represent or reflect on your profitability. This is just liquidity, okay? Then you go to operational. On your KPIs, on your flash report, your dashboard, what you want to be able to do is you want to be able to track and measure on a real-time, real-life basis. So let's say you're a contractor and you've got 30 jobs running. You want to be able to track the labor efficiency, the equipment utilization on those 30 jobs in real time. Now, it might be a few-day lag. It's okay. It's still better than waiting for the financials at the end of the month. If you're a manufacturer, if you're a restaurateur, there are key performance indicators, key measurements in each type of industry that you should want to know on a real-time basis so that you don't get surprised when you get your financials. So equipment utilization, bid tracking, backlog of work, job completion status, scheduling, labor utilization, what's in the hopper, meaning what are you bidding on, what's your bid to award ratio, is it changing, is it up and down, what's your key people productivity. So you can add many things to your flash report or to your KPIs or your dashboard that are respective and relative to your business. And if you're not sure, based on your industry, give me a call, 800-743-0410, and we'll talk about a couple. Ultimately, postmortems. What's a postmortem? So, financial statements. Every company should do them. I don't care if you do $500,000 a year in business or $500 million a year in business. If you're privately owned, you're the owner of your business, you want to do your financial statements on a timely basis. Here, let me make your head hurt, right? There's 12 months in a year. I think everybody knows that, right? We do 13 periods in a year. Each period is 4 exact weeks. So we have no periods with 5 Fridays. Right? When you have months, you can have leap year, you can have 29 days, 30 days, 31 days, 2 payrolls if you're biweekly, 3 payrolls if you're biweekly. Creates confusion. Go to 13 periods in your year, 13 exact 4-week periods. But demand that you get your financials within 5 days of the close of the period. 5 days, the close of the period. When you get them, sit down with your financial people, whoever else is key in your group, and do your postmortem. Go line by line with a magnifying glass. Versus plan versus prior year. Now, truthfully, I don't really give a damn about prior year, but it's a measurement, right? So versus plan versus prior year. Line by line, digit by digit, decimal point by decimal point. Pull out that magnifying glass and get an explanation for everything that's not where it should be against versus plan. Here, how's that for a line? Is that a good line? No, not really that good. Employee measurements, okay? So what you want to be able to do with employee measurements is each employee should have productivity measurements and on a timeline. Unfortunately, way too often I see an employee's got a job description or some role that they've been assigned, but not a specific timeline. If you want to maximize profit and build cash and create opportunity for your key employees, then they need to have productivity measurements in place with a timeline in place. If they balk at either one of them, They don't belong on your team. Period. They don't belong on your team. Operationally, what should we be doing? Again, it depends on what type of business you're at. So if you're a restaurateur, you got to limit waste. You got to turn those tables. You got to make sure your margins and your pricing is right for your menu. If you are a retailer, you got to cut down on your inventory. You got to turn your inventory quicker. You got to make sure that there's no shrink, theft, maintain your margins, collect your money on time. So every industry has operational measures that you should know and you should check constantly. Now, most of you have a controller or a CFO or a bookkeeper or a general manager or someone that you go to. See this operational measures and these employee measures and this post-mortem? They should be involved, but they should be explaining to you where the discrepancies are and why. What happened, how did it happen, and what you're going to do about it to make sure it doesn't go past one period. Forget the months. You're all going to get rid of the months now, right? Tell me, Lou, we're going to get rid of the months? Good. 13 periods, that's what you want to work with. So you have way back here, you got your key performance indicators, flash dashboard. You got financial and operational information that you want to include on your KPIs or your flash or your dashboard, right? You have your postmortems. You're going to micro-analyze your financial results at the end of each period. No more months, they don't exist. Train your banker, you're going to be doing things on a periodic basis. Employee measurements and operational measurements. It's the only way to manage by the numbers, folks. 100% accountability of everybody, starting with you and laying out the framework for what you want from your group. And I'm going to give you a hint, right? Here's a Lou hint for you. Today is September 2019. I don't know what date it is. I forgot, right? By next month, you should be working on your plans for 2020. All of this should be incorporated in your 2020 plans. Perfect time to launch is to start a new year and have your key people involved with you in creating how to manage by the numbers. If you're not sure how to do that, Twitter, @Mosca Small Biz, or give me a shout anytime, 844-743-0402. Remember, this was the third part in our series on how to recession-proof your business. It is so important to micromanage by the numbers. I don't know what else to tell you, okay? Have a great day. Don't worry about a recession coming because you're going to be way ahead of it. Have at it. Okay?
Perfect, yeah. So,
I feel like I was done.
so that response that you did to that Facebook post that,
Yeah.
for the trucking?
Yeah, we
So
keep
if you
going
want
through
to
or
go
start and
over, stop it, and then start it over again. That was what you responded with.